What's up, guys? Back in Media here. We got The Fosters, Season 1, Episode 2, Consequently. Okay, but before we start this video, I gotta say, subscribe to Eagle Fang Karate, my YouTube channel on Cobra Kai, Eagle Fang, anything. I usually do videos on there. Please subscribe. It recently just hit 82 subs. So if you know anyone who likes Karate Kid, likes Cobra Kai, likes me, likes my channel, please go over there, subscribe. I would love it. Trying to get to 1K over there. I would love for you to subscribe. It's been hard with COVID, but come on, we gotta do this. Subscribe my channel. But anyway, let's get into this episode of The Fosters. Okay, so this episode starts off with, Jesus, playing with the skateboard, and he's like, no playing skateboard in the house, and then we see Callie and Jude in the Foster's house, and yeah, Jude's really cute. I really like Jude's character, and yeah, so yeah, so then Steph is like, so then we get to Steph, and Steph's like, hey Brandon, what you did was very, dumb. I know you're trying to save Callie and save her brother, but that guy, but you didn't know what you're walking into there. That guy had a gun, and yeah. So then Jude gets pancakes, and he puts, I think, it was syrup on him, and Callie's like, whoa, Jude. So then he's just, you take your pills, and he's like, no. So then he just dumps them out, pretends he just dumps two out, and pretends to eat them, because remember, he's hiding Mariana's secret for her that she's selling them to people. She's selling drugs to pay for her birth mom. If you don't remember that, there. So he's like, let's do this. And then we get the intro for the first time, which has different lyrics, but it'll change. So then we meet Mariana's friends, which are Kelsey and Lexi, and Kelsey's like, hey, do you got any more of that stuff? And Mariana's like, no, I can't give you any more. Like, it's just like, what stuff? So Callie's walking through the halls, and Callie's like, did I see Callie walking through the house? He's like, and Brandon's like, did you? And she's like, I thought she'd be, like, after what happened, I thought she'd be back at juvie or something. And it's like, why do you care, Callie? Like, it's Callie. And yeah, so, for some reason, Talia cares. Why is she asking this question? Like, it makes no sense. Why is Talia asking this question? Like, why is she asking? Like, yeah. So, so yeah. So then we see Stephanie, and they're like, Lee's kind of concerned because she keeps flashing back to the whole Brandon with Callie's former foster father with the gun thing, and she keeps pointing out to Callie, and 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 Steph just looks out, and she sees Jude climbing a tree, which, that's a really cute scene, because it's just like, Jude's climbing a tree, and it's just so cute that Jude's climbing that tree. So, yeah, so then we see Jude in class, and she's like, yeah, so, actually, we do see Bill, that guy that we was supposed to meet at the end of beginning of last episode, and he's like, it's his fault why that whole situation happened. He was on our case, and if he was there, he would connect to Callie Jude, and everything would have been so fine. It's just that Callie and Jude aren't bad people, bad kids. They just had bad luck because with Callie, when Callie's mom died when Callie was 10, she had to go into foster with Jude. She just had to go swap between foster home with Jude, and yeah, it's kind of sad that this happened. So yeah, so Callie goes to see Jude, and he's like, did you see Bill? He's like, yeah. He's like, what did Bill talk about? He said hi. He's like, is that all? And she's like, then go on and learn something, you kid. Yeah. So I just like how he treats relationship. So yeah. So, so yeah. So then we see this guy named Vico, and he's yelling at his ex-girlfriend Lexi. And she's like, I told you no, Vico. And he's like, why do you have to be such the B word? And he's like, Cole, what's going on here? She told you to back off me. He's like, I heard. And he's like, why don't you go take a walk? He's like, why don't you go take a walk, bro? And they get into a fight, and he's like, hey, dude's like, I take care of myself. And then the teacher, Mr. Timothy, comes in. He's like, hey, what's going on here? And then we get into Lean's office where he's just like jumpy and jumping all that stuff. Jumping all that stuff. So jumping all that stuff. So they go. So basically they go. So yeah. So then he's like, so Mariana's like, what's going on? He's like, I'm a little jumpy because he hasn't been taking his pills. And she's like, why haven't you been taking? He's like, I haven't been taking to cover your butt. And he's like, you're welcome, by the way. And walks out. And yeah, so then later on, Timothy discovers a piece of paper, and that someone has left behind saying pills, and they do a locker search, and Mariana's just looking over at Calcie because yeah, for some reason, and then he's just is like, how many people are you selling to? And she's like, 5, 6, I guess. He's like, I hope none of them keep their stashes in their lockers. So yeah, so then we see, but yeah, so then we see Mike and stuff, hey, we decided to not punish Brandon, and he's like, whoa, you did what? Why didn't you keep me on this? We're supposed to be, like, where's their parents? He's like, I don't know, but he'd be dipping me and all her stuff, but he's her he's Brandon's mom and he's Brandon's father, and yeah, so yeah. So Steph comes over and she's like, Mike's right behind her, and he's like, why? He's like, he kind of didn't disagree on how he didn't get to punch Brandon, and yeah, so he's like, Mike, he's like, yeah, Mike just doesn't like, Mike, so he's like, Mike is, like, saying how he's their parents, and he's like, what about me? He's like, when is his parent too, okay? He's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, he's like, you know what I mean. So yeah, so Brandon comes home, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, what are you guys doing here? He's like, we're talking about your punishment. And he's like, punishment? I thought I wasn't grounded. He's like, 2 weeks homeschool, that's it. And he's like, I had plenty. He's like, I had plenty. He's like, oh yeah, plenty. He's like, when did you ever care? Like, Mike only talks to Brandon, like, he only gives him 5-minute phone calls, and he's like, when did you ever care? He's like, fine, just let me find out who I'm taking orders from, and leave. So, yeah, so after check. Well, sometime, anyway, so after that, Lena is super mad at Steph for, and she's like, she never felt like more like a stepmother her entire life to Brandon, and she's like, Mike is not right about this. He just has a strong opinion, and she's like, I guess she'll just be good old stepmom. Here's Brandon. Here's some heroin. Here's some liquor. Here's some booze. Who cares? And Lee and Steph's like, whoa, Liam, put down the knife right now, and they're able to come to an agreement that Brandon has 3 parents, period, and Mike just doesn't understand that. So yeah. And they're like, they're good, but they're good. So yeah. So then we see Brandon and Callie in the music room where, where Brandon says how he stole like a Matchbox car when he was, and he touches Callie's knee, and Talia sees this, and it's kind of like, Brandon, you have a girlfriend, and you're touching your foster sister's knee. Like it's kind of like, bro, you have a girlfriend. And then at one, Callie is like, hey Callie, come sit with us. And yeah, it's kind of like, Talia, you being sketchy right now. You being sketchy. And yeah, so Talia is like, Talia is like, how long are you guys gonna be here for? A week, a month, a year? She's like, that's really not up to her. And yeah, so it's kind of sketchy that Talia is asking this question. And yeah, so then Mariana's friend Kelsey is seen taking Mariana his pills because Mariana gives them to her. And yeah, so and then he catches this and he's like, do you want to tell me what's going on, or do you want to tell the police? And she's like, come on, Kelsey, where'd you get the drugs? So then after that, Brandon's like, are you jealous of something? And she's like, of Callie? No. And she's like, she just kept asking about since Brandon got grounded, was Callie going back to juvie, and that's what Brandon asked her about if she's jealous of Callie. She said no, which is still sketchy that she's asking. Callie's going back to juvie, which is still sketchy. Like, Brandon gets in trouble, Callie is not in trouble. Callie could have got grounded too, but that doesn't mean she had to go back to juvie. Yeah, and then Brandon's like, and he just is like, Brandon and Talia had lunch. Brandon, Callie and Talia had lunch. He's like, they had lunch together. Talia has lost her mind, and she's like, wouldn't you too? Callie's hot, and she's like, you really think Callie's hot? And she's like, no. He's like, how am I gonna do this? And he's like, improv. You gotta make Talia feel nice. So he's like, how am I gonna do this? And he's like, improvise. So he calls Talia and he's like, hey, and he's like, hey, let's do something together. Let's hang out. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna sneak out. So Brandon says he's gonna sneak out. So anyway, yeah. So Steph goes up Brandon. She's like, Brandon, you gotta apologize to your dad. So yeah. So then Lena. So then Jude asked Lena about chores because in his foster home they would always, because since he would move from foster home to foster home, they would always do chores. So he's like, okay, you can. So yeah, so yeah, so Steph and Lena are like, we talked to Bill and we want this because last race station ever. So yeah, so they're having some beds delivered, and Callie and Q walk to sleep downstairs one more night, but they're getting beds delivered where Jesus will move into Jude will move into Jesus' room, and Callie will move into Mario's room, upsetting Mariana. So yeah. So then we go to so then we see Lexi, and she goes into Jesus' room, and she basically like, it's okay, and she basically kisses him. So Jaxie's now a thing. Basically, ship name is now Jaxie. So Jaxie's now a thing, and Mariana's like, hey, I gotta move stuff to Callie's. It's a nightmare. And he's like, why can't they sleep in the dining room. No one ever uses it. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, they could just sleep in the basement like Harry Potter. Sleep in the basement like Harry Potter. Come on, guys, they're not gonna be living here for. They're gonna be living here for a short while. Why don't we make them like welcome? And then he's just like you're giving up anything. And yeah, so yeah, so then Mariana explains to Jesus about those nights she went to see Anna, and she went to see Anna, and how she felt like more a ATM machine by giving her the money than her own daughter, and about how she thought that yeah, at least she has Stephanie who love her, and yeah, so yeah, so then Jesus is so then she's like, can you come down with me to tell them that I did it? And she's about to when he's just like he took the pills because actually yeah, speaking of the pills thing, Kelsey basically blamed Callie for the pills, and then Callie was like, no, I didn't do it, and she's like, yeah, and then he goes out and he's like, yeah, he's like, and then she's like, what happened? And she's like, they thought I stole your brother's pills, and she's like, what did you tell them? And she's like, I told them it wasn't you, Mariana, and she's like, why not? Because they wouldn't believe her, because Mariana. So anyway, back to the scene. Jesus is like, he took them because Kelsey wanted to, like, clear off them, so he gave him one, but he kept getting her more. So yeah, we'll see how that is. We'll see how that lands. So yeah, so Brandon was teaching Callie some guitar lessons because she was doing G chord wrong, and that's when they suddenly came out and they're like, sorry, we accused you, it wasn't you. She's like, sure, yeah, it wasn't her, but so then at the end of the episode, Callie's like, hey, Brandon's like, hey, I'll play some guitar with you, and he calls Talia saying, hey, I'm sorry I can't make it, and that's probably gonna anger Talia. So yeah, so that's probably gonna anger Talia. So yeah, and yeah, probably gonna anger Talia. So anyway, this episode was really good. It was a really good episode. So like, comment, subscribe because have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you next in the Foster.